Welcome back to the Baco Motorsports Power Hour. I'm Louis Amisto, your host, and I was just talking off camera here with Scott Schweitzer about the power involved with Bud Nationals. I was at the North High football game, calling the game for B Varsity Live, and when the game got over, I mean, from North High School, you could fully hear, and I guess we're thinking it was the late models that were running, 22 late models in the A-main, around 10 o'clock on Friday night. Just an awesome spectacle. Awesome to hear that much power coming down from probably, what, maybe as the crow flies, maybe 3 or 4 miles away, I would think, right? Maybe a little longer?
No more than 3, maybe 2.
Yeah, it's not that far.
It's not that far. It's just up the road. It's right there. Maybe 2 miles as the crow flies. But, yeah, you can tell when the late models are on the track.
Yeah.
They sound awesome. Those are high horsepower cars. They're fun to watch. I love dirt late models. I'll say that.
Well, I got to say a couple things here. One, you know, I love what we do here with the Baco Motorsports Power Hour, but I have to give credit to those XN guys and to the low budget TV guys too. But the XN guys did a great job of covering that event. And you know, there were some moments here. I'm going to put into my top 5 moments though. Seeing Tina McGowan win, we'll talk a little bit more about that too. It's like, well, that's nice. That's kind of cool, you know. To see that. And give me kind of your decompressed thoughts, you know, 2 days after, you know, the Bud Nationals. What were your takeaways, I guess?
You know, we had a great fan turnout both days. Weather was beautiful. Great car count, again, as we always do. And when we get to the Bud Nationals, it just clicks. We have a ton of cars, ton of racing to do, we had 663 laps to race over the 2 days, and it just clicked one race after another. We did have a few crashes. We had a car roll and stuff like that. We get it cleaned up. We get right back to racing. So my hat's off to all the racers, my staff, my track workers. You know, they were on their game, and we got it all in and made it work for a great show.
Right. Hey, Chris, if you have a chance, run some of the video from the low-budget TV guys before we get into the Tom mocked spectacle of photos. And just I can't hear you, so just...
Yeah, just whatever.
Just run whatever. We wanted to show some of that stuff. Griffith, tell me a little bit about what you... and these are street stocks, or what are we looking at here?
These are the American stocks on
right.
Friday night.
I should know that by now. I'm almost getting there. Little spin out. But Griff, tell me your thoughts on this. You've covered many of these Bud National events, and what was your impression of it?
Well, like Scott said, it went pretty smooth. The American stocks are always a little interesting there. You see a little bumper tag, but it just goes really smooth. I think maybe the roughest event of the whole night, maybe on the second night, the Sport Mod B mains were a little rough around the edges, but these guys are trying to get into the main event, and the track was totally different as we talked about last week. The track on Friday night was fast. Steve Drake set obliterated the old track record, ran a 12.4, half a second faster than the old track record, four laps under the old track record. But you come back on Saturday night, and all that racing was pounded, and the late models were literally 2 seconds slower in qualifying. And by the time the main event came, the track's just totally different on Saturday.
And I was just amazed watching it Friday night and just hearing the power of the late models on Friday night and knowing you had a great crowd. I mean, it just had to be satisfying on Sunday to think about everything you guys
It was. It all ran smooth, and I got to give a shout-out to the XN guys. This is the first time we worked with them. They came out, did a splendid job, teamed up with the low-budget guys, which always do a good good thing for us. So had a lot of people that tuned into it and watched it, so we got the word out about the Bakersfield Speedway in California. And I mean, they were telling me we had people from Hawaii, people from on the East Coast watching, so it's pretty cool to see that, to see exactly who's tuning in to watch us out here on the West Coast.
And right there on that video with the car up on the crash wall, that took out a low-budget GoPro right there. It was mounted right beyond the start-finish line, right past the starter's flag stand.
Right there.
There was a GoPro sitting up there. The GoPro went bye-bye. Actually, they got it back in 2 pieces minus the batteries.
Nice. Well, that was an amazing effort there. We got tons of stuff to get through here. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of these beautiful pictures that Tom Mock sent us. And Tom, I know if you're probably not watching live, but I didn't ignore your calls. I was actually down ill yesterday. But what a crowd there! This is I think Saturday.
Yeah,
afternoon.
Saturday. We have those are the street stocks on the track, so that's Saturday.
Just an amazing crowd. Still a lot of burritos on.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then a wide angle look here at the track, and just impressive night. I think it'd be cool just to go. I kind of missed it because I wanted to see what the place looks like full in person, and it was kind of cool to see.
It was. Again, I mean, hats off to all the fans that showed up. Plenty of parking out there. Sometimes that gets to be an issue. We got all in. All the racers were able to fit in. So it just clicked this year. And hats off to everybody who was a part of it. And a big thank you to Budweiser as well, because they're a key deal to get behind this event every year.
And a little special checkered flag there, if you notice, there was some money being raised, and a little breast cancer type of checkered flag there. Breast cancer awareness.
Beautiful, that's a beautiful shot too, and obviously the pink flag is a key part of that. I don't know what this guy's doing.
I don't know. He's talking to Randy, and the thing, Randy come out here to race, finished second in his heat, and I noticed some smoke coming out there right when he crossed the start-finish line, and that was the end of his weekend.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was fast.
That was too bad for him. He was fast.
First seeing this track ever, and you could tell that he was going to be a player, but then fan blade came off, I think, went through the radiator or something, pumped the water out. So.
Tom just did a great job of all the work that goes on beforehand, all the work that goes on during, just showing you the drivers and that says it all right there. Just the rough and tumble nature of this particular sport. Tape, dirt, and a lot of sweat too. And these are late models running here.
Right.
And it was a lot of cars, a lot of racing. And like I said, I was just I thought it was really interesting if you were out there Friday compared to Saturday, and the way that you had to race the track totally different, set up your car totally different, and that's the nature of dirt track racing. But the guy that was fast on both nights, right there, Bobby Hogge. That guy,
he dominated it.
He dominated. Scott gave away 8 guitars in feature races. This man took home 4.
Yeah.
Have you ever had somebody dominate like that before?
Well, Bobby dominates, obviously, but never sweep the whole Bud Nationals, and it's pretty cool. Bobby's a great racer, great representative of California racing, and to come into the Nationals, which he always supports us, and to come in and make a clean sweep for the weekend like that's very cool.
It's kind of cool, too. The fact that, there were certain races, and we'll talk about the sport mods, where it was like the house drivers, the speedway drivers did a great job and dominated. But then you bring all these guys in from outside of the area. Yeah. That was pretty interesting to see the level of competition. Yeah,
everybody knows that Bobby's tough. He's one of the guys to beat, and he proved it. And he didn't start on the front row. Bobby worked his way up through the way the format was. You had to earn it, and he did put on a great performance.
Yeah.
Here are the results. These are the A-Main Saturday. Bobby Hogge winning this one. Steve Drake finishing second. Cody Laney finishing third. Andy Orbertello finishing fourth. Nick Bartels finishing fifth. This is the A-Main. I think this is the B-Main Saturday. I might have that wrong there. Devin Crockett, Jason Papich, Kyle Griffith, Tommy Malcolm, Cody Barnett, Mike Corbin. That's the quality of competition in there when a Kyle Griffith is in a B-Main.
Well, I think even more so the quality of competition. Papich and Toast were on top of their games early in the season. They were here when the season opened in March, and ran well, and they were just off. They weren't competitive at all this weekend.
And look at this field.
Especially when you look at Jason Papich that travels with the Lucas Oil National Series that's traveling all over the United States, racing with on the national level, and then he was able to come out here, and he's in a B-Main. So
that was probably my surprise was Papich was a little way off the mark.
Griff, this had to be this is the one I must have been hearing from North High School on Friday.
Yeah, that was what you're hearing. Bobby
but this
Hogge
was incredible, though. Huh? Look at the quality company.
A solid run for Rob Sanders there.
Especially Rob for not being in the car at all because of the elbow injury in his first time back, and he was racing double duty. The modified and the late model did a great job. Brad was back for the first time, hadn't lost a motor earlier in the year, and got the motor fixed, and they just kind of held the late model on stands waiting for the Bud Nationals. And again, Brad running 2 divisions, put on a great performance.
Now, where are you at in this? When you're up, are you in the control tower? Or
yeah, I run the receiver, talking to the racers, doing the lineups, calling it down to them. I like to be the one in communication with them, telling them what's going on. That way, I'm also my right hand guy. He's running the officials. I help do that as well, but mainly I'm talking to the racers.
Okay. Because, is there ever a time where you just kind of, obviously now in that position, you're like watching every single one of these. Did you watch them a little bit more closely?
No. You know what? Like I said, Bud Nationals, you got the best of the best there. And these guys, it was clean racing. We really didn't have to make too many calls at all because these guys know what this race is all about, and they're out there racing clean.
B-Main won by Tommy Malcolm, Colin Weinbarger finishing second, Kyle Griffith in third. a ton of results to get through. This is the number 2 B main on Friday. Andy Obertello winning that one. And then modifieds A main Saturday. Bobby Hogge winning that one over Brad Pounds and Dalen Coffey and Robbie Sawyer. I mean, another incredible group of drivers.
Yeah, and both those top 2 guys, I mean, they just, in the modifieds, they run 40 laps. Then they get out of their cars, get a drink of water, and buckle right back into the late models. So they
and
have
this is
no
the one
time.
that Bobby says he got lucky on, and it did. There's a late
He did,
yellow. Let him catch up to Dalen Coffey there, and Dalen bobbled, and Hogue got by with 2 laps to go, and Brad got by as well.
I love this picture right here of the staging. I mean, Tom does a lot of great photos, but I love this particular one just to shows the depth of the racing that's going on. And more of the modifieds. And just, I mean, this is another great shot too, just to show you, how many cars are in the field. And there's Hogue's car right there.
The car finds its way to victory circle.
Yeah, and there he is.
Its way there,
yeah.
that's for sure.
B-Main won on Saturday. Larry Hood was your winner. Jay Marks finishing 2nd. Cody Barnett finishing 3rd. B-Main 2, Buddy Shelton with the win over Rob Sanders and Chris Crompy and Chet Reeves finishing 4th. Ethan Dotson was in 6th. And then the A-Main Friday night, Bobby Hogge winning that one over Brad Pounds. Dalen Coffey, Kyle Heckman. I mean, unbelievable.
And this one was a runaway. I think Hogue was about half a full straight ahead. He was on.
B-Main Friday night, Troy Morris Jr. was the winner there over Alex Stanford. And Main 2 Friday night, Mike Kirby, R.C. Whitwell, Larry Hood. And then the sport mods. And we're going to talk about this one for a second here.
It's Lee Jensen there on the inside.
Yeah. Lee Jensen played the national anthem, huh?
He did. He won the Bud Nationals last year, and of course we give away the guitar. And he told me a week later, after he went out, that he was going to play it, and he did. Did a great job. Never seen a guy so nervous. Lee, as much driving and big shows he's been in, but he was nervous.
Nice.
He
Pulled it off. Did a great job.
He got in there a little bit into it, and little missed notes and stuff. He said it was so bad his fingers were shaking trying to play. He was so nervous.
Nice. That's a hard thing to play. I mean, that's for sure. Sport mods, as we're talking about Tina McGowan. I mean, that had to be kind of like the crowd had to be happy for this one.
You know what? From the scoring tower where I'm at, when Tina got the white flag and coming around for the checkered, it reminds you of NASCAR when Dale Jr. takes the lead and the whole crowd goes crazy. That's what they did. Bakersfield Speedway, the fans love Tina McGowan, and it was such an emotional win and a cool deal for her. And myself, probably the moment of the Nationals was seeing Tina get the win.
Right. Because, I mean, when we've had her here before, I mean, she's like praiseworthy of everybody. I mean, she's a fan of everybody that's there. Again, Tina McGowan with the win in the A-Main over Levi. Let me go back to that for a second. I'm sorry. Levi Kiefer. Look at this group. Levi Kiefer, Ethan Dotson, Ricky Childress Jr., Cruz Griffith, Kevin Johnson, Lee Jensen, TJ Edgerton, Michael Johnson, Jordan Hager. This was an incredible race, Mike Griffith.
Yeah, there's a lot of heavy hitters there, and she started on the front row there, and she admitted that probably helped her a little bit, but she got out, and there is no catching her.
Yeah.
She had that car dialed in.
All right, we're running out of time here, but we got Chad Reichenbach in the B main was the winner there for Sport Mods. Kevin Collier in the A main was the winner. This is Hobby Stocks now. And Hobby Stocks B was Jesse Bowles was the winner. And Hobby Stocks C main, Marcus Wankum was the winner there over John McKinley. And Super Streets, some good racing here too. And look at that pink flag for the winner.
Brady Bell.
Brady Bell with the winner.
Who said that he told his wife Tina that if he won the race he was going to retire. So we'll see.
Yep.
Lonnie,
see if he stays to it.
Lonnie Welch was finishing second, and Mike Johnson finishing third in Super Streets. American Stocks, Don Mead with the winner. Dakota Brown finishing second. Tracy Childress finishing third. Roger Welch finishing fourth. And that is it. Man,
busy weekend.
What a weekend.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Great weekend. Next weekend, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the things you got going on and some of the plans you have for next year and some improvements you want to make and look forward to. But congratulations on a great weekend. And like I said, it was exciting to see how it all came together. So, all right, we'll be right back after these messages. Kern County Raceway Park, they got news to break. We'll talk to them here in a moment here on the Baco Motorsports Power Hour, brought to you by Budweiser, a sign factory, and the Bakersfield, California.